On a modern Nintendo Switch, official firmware upgrades require you to also update your Hekate and Atmosphere custom firmware. So, let me show you how to do that, and how to take control of your system firmware versions. Hi and welcome to Bytes and Bits. We've been having a number of Switch firmware updates recently, and it's left us in a fairly unusual situation. So we got the 22.0.0 update a couple of weeks ago, and the Atmosphere custom firmware was modified to work with it. But immediately that was released, the Nintendo released firmware 22.1.0, which of course needed another Atmosphere fix. So at this point in time for me, in April 2026, I've got a fully working modded Switch running on firmware 21.2.0, and I'd like to update to the latest versions of Atmosphere and Hekate with firmware 22.0.0. But definitely, I don't want to install the very latest official firmware, which is 22.1.0. So in this video, I'll show you how to update your Atmosphere and Hekate custom firmware to the latest versions, but also how to control your official firmware version so you can safely install whichever one you choose. So let's get started. So first off then, you're obviously going to need a modded Nintendo Switch. So this idea of controlling your firmware version, installing custom software, it all does require a modded console. So this can be either an RCM system or a mod chip, either one will work. Now if you haven't yet modded your console, then do have a look at my Picofly mod chip tutorial, and this will show you how to fit the chip and then get your software up and running. Now the only other thing that you're going to need then is a way to copy files onto your Switch SD card. Now I'm going to be using the USB method, where I'll simply be connecting my Switch out to my computer, but obviously you can take the SD card out of your Switch and then just use a suitable micro SD card reader to plug that into your computer. Now on the software side, we'll be updating both Atmosphere and Hekate. Now you can update these and install them separately, or if you have followed my modding tutorial, then you may have used a homebrew package, and the one I used in that tutorial is the HATS package from Sthetik. Now if that's the case, all you'll need there then is the latest version of that package. But of course, do make sure that that latest version does contain the latest versions of Atmosphere and Hekate, otherwise obviously there's no point in using it. Now, I do prefer the HATS package method. It is great for staying up to date. Not all of the sort of ready-made packages you get will stay as up-to-date as that one, so that's really why I choose that, as well as it being a full set of software. Now for the standalone updates, the best place to go and get hold of these is through the Switch guide at this address here. So that hacks guide gives you loads of information about how to hack your Switch and various operations then involved around that. So on the micro SD card preparations page, and again I'll put direct links out to that one, you'll find links there to the latest versions of both Hekate and Atmosphere. Now these are the only files that you're going to need. So download them to your computer. For Hekate, if there is an update to the NYX download, but then do download that version as well. So once you've downloaded these files, we then need to build up an SD card update folder. So in my download area here, I'm going to make a new folder for my update. We're going to pretend that this is the in effect the root of our SD card. And we're going to assemble all of the files in here in the correct format, in the correct locations, so that we don't accidentally overwrite our real SD card files while we're in that process. Of course, if we make a mistake and put a folder in the wrong place, we could upset some of the existing files in there. So if you first of all then open up the Hekate download, and extract the bootloader and bin file to our new update folder. Now, if you're using a mod chip exploited console, then we will need to go inside here, and then we're going to need to rename that bin file to payload.bin. If you're using an RCM jig hack, then just simply delete this file. We'll be injecting this payload in a different way. So next, open up your Atmosphere archive file. And inside there, you'll find a whole range of files and folders. And again, we just need to copy everything that's on inside that archive then to our new update folder. So you should now have an update folder that looks like this. So if alternatively then you are using the hats package, head over to the Sthetik's GitHub page at this address here. In the releases section, go to the latest release and then download the zip archive for your computer. So once that's downloaded, all you need to do then is to create the update folder and then again extract all of the files in that archive inside your update folder. The hats package already has everything we need to update the switch pre-assembled for us, so there isn't anything else to do with that one. So at this point, we now have an update folder on our computer, and inside that we have all of the software that we need to copy across to the root of our switch SD card. So we also want to then install a new version of our official firmware. So for that, we're going to need an application called Daybreak, which is actually part of the Atmosphere custom firmware package. So to use that, of course, we'll need to get hold of a version of the official firmware. And again, the version that we want to install. So if you head over to the Darthsternie website at this web address here, you'll see here that you can pretty much download any switch firmware version that you want. And this will allow you to either upgrade or downgrade your machine. Now, before you go mad, there are a few rules on what you can actually do here. So as your switch gets updated by the official Nintendo upgrades, each firmware version will blow some physical fuses that are mounted inside the console. So this allows the Nintendo code to keep track of exactly what firmware version you should be running. And again, because these are physical fuses that get burned inside one of the chips, you can't fake that. So if the fuses don't match the firmware, then your console isn't going to boot up. Now, of course, using a modded switch allows us to bypass this fuse check, but do be aware that if you use the 100% stock firmware or the OFW boot option in Hekate, then any fuse mismatches will stop the switch from booting, and you'll just get to a black screen. And this is where the semi-stock option is designed to get you around this. So that will allow you to use official firmware or any official firmware, even if the fuses don't match. It sort of skips over that that fuse check. So there is no problem with doing this, but just be aware if your official firmware boot option doesn't work after playing with firmware versions, then it could just simply be a fuse mismatch that is happening. On the MUMC side of things then, of course, we can pretty much do whatever we want. This is a completely separate system from our real sysMMC NAND environment, and it really doesn't care what mismatches we have. Again, it's running completely custom firmware for this. It also doesn't have to be the same firmware as your sysMMC side. So really, on the MUMC side, you can really knock yourself out with playing around with versions. So we need to decide what firmware to install. Now, of course, usually this will be the very latest version which is fully supported by Hekate and Atmosphere. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, for me today, and we're in a very sort of exceptional situation. So the latest supported version of the official firmware by Atmosphere is 22.0.0. But the version 22.1.0 has been released, but of course Atmosphere isn't yet working completely with that, so it's best not to upgrade to that. So again, this is just really a perfect way of showing you how we can control the official firmware versions using our modded switch. So I'm going to basically download the archive file for the version that I want, and again I'm going to save that onto my computer. So once that file is downloaded, we need to add a new folder inside of our update folder, so that we can basically copy all of the files across to our switch. So open up your update folder, create a new folder. I'm just going to call mine firmware. It really doesn't matter what you call it. So I'm now going to open up my downloaded firmware archive file. Then all I need to do is copy all of the files out of that and then put them in that new firmware folder in my update folder. And of course, the update folder will eventually become the root of our SD card. Now, if you want to have multiple firmwares loaded onto your SD card, then you can do that as well. Just put each of them inside their own folder somewhere, and do of course make sure that you label them so you know which one is which. So that's pretty much our update folder completed now. That is now ready to copy across to our console. So if you're using USB like me to connect to the switch, then boot into Hekate and then use the tools and USB tools, and then set the SD card as a removable drive on your computer. If you're simply taking the SD card out, then just plug that into your SD card reader on your computer as well. So either way round, you should now have access to the file system on your SD card. So for the standalone installation, you just need to copy all of the files from that update folder that we created, and then just drop them onto the root of your SD card. If it asks about overwriting any files, just say yes. And that then is your software updated. If you're using the HATS update package, then you first need to delete the Atmosphere, bootloader, and config folders. Now, then we can just copy the contents of that update folder that we created, and then just drop those, of course, into the root of our SD card. So any files that are getting replaced, of course, again, just say yes. Now, if you had added any extra payloads or other files into your HATS installation, then of course you're going to need to go back and reinstall those. So that's our custom firmware taken care of. If you now reboot your console, you'll probably find that Hekate wants you to reset the date and time. So go through that process and then boot into your sysmmc CFW option. So once that's booted up, go into your settings and your system. You should find that you're running the new version of Hekate and have got the latest version of Atmosphere. So we now need to update our system firmware. And again, if you use the Nintendo system, that will of course download the very latest version of the official firmware. And that's not what we want to do at the moment. So we're going to use this thing called the Daybreak app. So as I said, that does actually come installed as part of your Atmosphere firmware. So in the SD card setup, of course, we have already downloaded all of the files that will allow Daybreak to install the firmware. So we now have to be on our console and power on and boot into Hekate. Now we'll first update our sysmmc side. So launch into sysmmc with custom firmware. Now this will take you to the main menu. So open up your album and then select the Daybreak app. Now for this app, you don't need to be in full memory mode. We can just be in applet mode as standard. So click the install button and the app will show you your SD card. So all we need to do here is just select the folder where you saved your firmware files, and then select that. So Daybreak will now scan that folder and then scan the files inside there just to make sure that it is a valid set of firmware files. So if everything checks out okay, you can now click the Continue button at the bottom of the window. You may now get the option to either keep your settings or do a factory reset. If you get this, choose to keep your settings, and you may then be asked to select the driver variant. So unless you know otherwise, select FAT32 plus exFAT. Now, as you can see on mine, I did not get those options, but either way, at this point now, the software should be ready to compile the update. So click Continue to start installing the new firmware. Now, this can take a minute or so. If everything has worked, you'll get a successful message. And all we need to do now is to reboot the console and again back into our sysMMC with CFW option. Now you will see a spinner for a few seconds while the firmware installation completes, and then the system will reboot for a second time. So again, just relaunch the sysMMC CFW and you can now check your system settings. So if you go in there and down to System, you should now find that you're on your new firmware version, and of course we're still with the latest version of Atmosphere. So that of course is now our sysMMC, which is our real NAND chips updated to this firmware version that we want. So what we need to do now is to go through the exact same process. But of course, instead of booting into sysMMC with CFW, we want to boot into MUMMC, run Daybreak, and complete the process the same. And that will then, of course, update your MUMMC firmware side. And that, of course, is where, if you wanted to, you could install a different firmware version onto that MUMMC. Again, the process is entirely up to you. So that pretty much then is our modded switch all up to date, or at least up to date as I can go at the moment. But what I've hopefully shown you here is that to update our Hekate and Atmosphere, all we need to do is to really just copy the new files over the top of the old ones, and that will easily update those. So whatever version comes out, just keep your system up to date. New versions of Hekate and Atmosphere will be compatible with the latest version of official firmware, but of course cover all of the previous versions, so you can just use the latest versions all the time. It's also then showing you how we can actually keep much finer control over our system firmware versions using our modded console, and treat both our sysMMC and our MUMMC as two separate components. Again, we can have different firmware versions in each of those. So I hope you found this video useful. Again, any new firmwares that come out, just go through the same process. Just check that Atmosphere and Hekate do support your firmware. If they don't, you can still update those, but of course don't update your firmware to the latest one, otherwise you'll find that they no longer work. So, if you've enjoyed this, please do click that like button, subscribe to the channel for lots more Switch, modding, gaming, electronics and making projects. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. And bye for now. For more games programming, electronics projects, and retro gaming, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and visit my website.